We got an exciting show for you today. You might remember our next guest from The Voice, and most recently, he was on American Idol Top 5. The one and only Thunderstorm Artis is with us. Thunderstorm is known for his soulful voice, heartfelt lyrics, and the kind of authenticity that leaves a lasting impact. And today, we're thrilled to help spread the word about his brand new single, I Just Want You to Know, which is out now on all streaming platforms. Thunderstorm, thank you so much for taking the time and chatting with me.
Jacob, thanks for reaching out, man, and giving me a platform.
Yeah, man. So we got introduced to you from The Voice, which I was talking to my brother today. I said, dude, he got to sing with Nick Jonas and did You'll Be in My Heart. I was like, how stinking amazing is that? And then you were on American Idol just recently. So take us back on your journey that led you to The Voice and most recently American Idol.
Yeah, man. I mean, what a crazy journey. I feel like both of those shows, when I did it, was such a different life season, if that makes sense. When I ended up on The Voice, it all started with, I always tell it's like a funny story. It all started with a video game. I beat my favorite video game in the world, and then I realized that I accomplished absolutely nothing in my life. So I grabbed my guitar and I went and I started busking on the street, and this gentleman, he stopped. And this guy, his name was John Chu, which turned out to be the movie director for the movie Crazy Rich Asians, the new film Wicked, and all that stuff. And he flew me out to perform the song for his first dance for their wedding, and then told The Voice about me. And then out of the blue, I was on tour. The Voice reached out and was like, just come through and sing a couple songs for our producers. And if we like it and you like it, we'd love to have you on the show. And so I was just like, it was a year where I was just saying yes and I was taking chances. And so I went into The Voice never doing the whole sign up from the website and all that kind of stuff. And so I just stepped into it with gratitude and just like, if I didn't make it past the blind audition, I was like, this is fine. I didn't think I had much to offer at the time. And it was really crazy to make it all the way to the finale, the top 3. It definitely put a dampener on the live round portion of it. But I met my beautiful wife because of all of that. And, my wife and I got married during my season of The Voice. So we met during the middle part and we got married at the end. And it was just kind of crazy after that. It took a couple years off with COVID, and then we started touring. I got to tour with a couple major acts. Like we played in a really amazing venues all around, and kind of fast forward to American Idol. I never thought that I would be on another reality show. But Idol kept reaching out, and me and my wife, we talked about it, and we were just like, you know what? This might be one of those moments again where kind of God gives you these options. And, my pastor always said, sometimes God gives you Y roads. It's like, he gives you T roads, which one's wrong and one's good. And then sometimes you get Y roads where you're just like, you know what? It could be fun. He's going to bless either way. So let's just see what happens. And that's why I kind of felt with American Idol. I just was like, let's step through it and see what happens. And to make it to the top 5 on that one as well was just a crazy experience. And it was night and day of an experience from The Voice, just because I got to do more original music. I got to be a little bit more authentic and true to who I am as a person and as an artist. And so I felt like I got really great things out of both of them.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife, and I said, for the first time in Idol history, because we like to watch the show, and I said, the top 5, I would be happy if any of them won, because they are like so talented. I mean, the talent this year, man, on the show was just incredible.
I agree.
I mean, I was just like blown away, and I think maybe Lionel or Luke, one of them said it at one time during the season. This is like the most talented season that we've ever had in Idol history. And I would agree on that term. I mean, I was just like, wow, there's so much talent this year.
So much talent and so much uniqueness as well. I didn't feel like there were a lot of artists who were too similar. If that makes sense, not even just in the top 5, but in the top 14 or even the top 20. Like, I felt like everyone had their own identity in their music and their style and their approach. And to me, that was really special. I think, through a few of the interviews, I kept saying that, like, even more than, a contestant, I felt like an audience member just really enjoying music in its purest form, with getting to listen and work with these guys every single day. Because, like that last round when we were top 20 all the way to the finale, like, us contestants, we only had like one day off. And so it was like a month and a half. I'm just around each and every one of them. And like, it's so crazy because you get through one performance, and you're like, yay, but they're like, no, you don't get to celebrate yet. You gotta get ready for the next one. And you're like, dang it. And so you just kind of feel like you're in this gauntlet. But to be doing it shoulder to shoulder with so many amazing people and artists, like that's what made it really special. But then the amount of like faith-filled people, like on the musician side, like the artist side, but then also on the production side, I think it was really cool to kind of see that like God presence in a place in Hollywood that I would have never thought to see it.
Yeah, I was going to mention that as well. I mean, this year too on Idol, for the first time. I mean, there's been Christians and God moments on Idol, like last year with Cece, again this year with Cece, but just, I mean, man, there was some videos. I'm sure you saw them that got leaked. I don't know if it was a leaked video or not, but several videos behind the scenes, and you guys like the top 20, top 30, whatever, just worshiping, like just singing worship songs, and I was just like, man, that's incredible. And just the faith night. And I'm like, dude, like things are happening. And it was so cool to see Jesus this season, like in the front line, man.
Yeah, sure. That was really special because it's like, there's a lot of stuff that they have us rehearse and do for press and all those sort of things. And that definitely was something they did not. Like that was just more every time there was a bit of worship that kind of went online with us, like off camera kind of stuff. Like that was just like the outpouring. I wasn't even at the center of it most time. It was always really cool to walk into a room and see people praising. And I just been like, wow, like this is amazing. And I think to me that like, and then you had Kanan, man. I think Kanan was always praising. I don't think you could stop that man from praising if you tried.
He was on IG. He was on IG last night live, and we got on there, and he's just singing like all the comments. I'm like, bro, he's singing all the time. Like, he's funny.
And I tell you, that's how it was being around him, like nonstop. That like you knew what dressing room was his dressing room because. I think everyone was trying to convince him that, like, brother, you're on vocal rest.
Right.
And he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And I'm like, Kaden, come on, brother, save your voice.
That's so funny. So tell us about your first audition on Idol, that moment you sang Don't Let Me Let You Go. Tell us about that moment.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing about that moment was I was in the time that I was really wrestling with doing the show or not. And leading up to that performance, I actually had lost my voice. Like I woke up on like, we shot it on a Saturday, and Tuesday morning I woke up and I couldn't even sing or talk. Like, and so I called the casting producer and I was like, bro, I think this wasn't meant to happen. Like, I guess I'm just not going to audition because I was scheduled to audition on the Wednesday. I was like, I can't sing. I'm not going to go on national TV and, muff it up. And he was like, no, what if we move it to Saturday? And if you feel like you can do it, then try it. And then I was just kind of not really feeling it. And then come the day of, like, I was just like, you know what, like, I know God's got me and I'm just going to step in there and I'm going to do the best I can. And we'll see if that's that. But if I do it, I want to, be me as much as I can. And so getting to sing Don't Let Me Let You Go, it was crazy because leading up to it, like my voice was raspy, crazy. And I remember just praying in the back room, just like, God, just let me just get this one song out. And then I'm done. And getting to do that and sing a song that meant so much to my wife and I, this part of our story and the hard parts of it. But I also felt like it was a message that I always say that the devil's greatest weapon is convincing us we're the only ones going through what we're going through. But I think when we find out as a community that we're all kind of struggling with the same aspects of life, that's what that song is really about. It's just kind of tearing back that veil and just being like, hey, we've had these hard seasons, but when I'm weak, I need you to be my anchor. And when you're weak, I'll be your anchor and be there for you. And to be able to sing that and see the reaction that I got from the judges and from America with that was really crazy and surreal and not one bit what I expected.
Now you got a new single out. I just want you to know, love that song.
Thanks,
tell us our viewers and listeners about that one.
Yeah, man. So I Just Want You to Know, man, was a song that I wrote for my beautiful wife again. And this one was about, I think it really tied back into when we're at home and my wife is doing, she does so much to keep our family together. Like I travel a lot. And even when I am home and I'm exhausted, like she does a lot of things that like I never even see. And sometimes I can forget to, vocalize those things. And so I think the first time that she heard the song, I got home and she was talking to me and I was like, baby, you need to listen to this. And she was like, wow, like I can't believe, like she loved that I wrote about that moment. And I think it was just like, babe, I just want you to know that like we don't have to, not just when it comes to like chores and all that kind of stuff, but just life in general, and the weight that's on your shoulders, and the constant things that she has to deal with in life. Just like, hey, you know what? I'm here with you. You don't have to do this alone. But at the same time, on the opposite side, that's also the things that she says to me a lot. Because as a man, like sometimes I think hiding what I'm going through in life is helping her and protecting her. And when she told me that, you know, keeping those things away from her is actually hurting her more than protecting her. So I think that song was really about both of those perspectives kind of roll into a beautiful story. And it's been cool to put that out in the world and see people connect with it. I'm getting so many cool stories if you are posting and sharing with me about the song. And I can't wait to get out there and tour it.
Yeah. Now the part, I think it was Mother's Day, and you like directly sang at your wife. And I think maybe Luke or something was like all giddy that you were looking right at your wife the whole time you were singing. Was that the song you were singing?
No, I think I was singing "Faithfully" by Journey.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
That was a fun moment, man.
Yeah.
That was a really fun moment.
It was really locked. Cool. You were locked. You were like looking right at her, just singing right at her.
Yeah. And then she started crying, and then I was like, I'm gonna start crying. And I was like, I gotta hold it together because we're on TV and they got all this makeup on me that's gonna start going everywhere.
That's funny.
But yeah, dude, that was really special, and I thought that was a really beautiful moment for two things. That was part of the round where the judges, they chose 3 songs for us, and we had to choose one of the 3. And we didn't know like what coach chose what song. And so it was kind of like, you know, they had Northern Attitude by Noah Kahan on there, which is a song that I do all the time. Let It Be by the Beatles, which is a song I really love. And then Faithfully by Journey, a song that I really had never really sang like ever before. But when I started to read the lyrics, I was like, wow, this is mine and my wife's story. Like, you know, they say the road ain't no place to start a family. It's just like, you know, I'm on the road and like, you know, but I'm sending all my love along the wire, like just everything in it. I was like, and her name is Faith. So I was like, you know what? I was like, this is a God thing. Let me just step into it.
And those lyrics are so awesome to that song too.
Yeah, man, it's so awesome. And so I slowed it down. I kind of put it in a register that it kind of felt like more that I was talking to her. And also kind of the backstory kind of that the reason why too is like my wife was, you know, she had both boys the entire time. Like every day they were pulling on me at like 7:30, 8 a.m. in the morning, and then I wasn't getting back to like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. So it's just her in the small hotel room with the boys just going through that. And like any parents out there know how much work that can be in a small hotel room. And so I really wanted to make that moment about, you know, praising her and giving her and highlighting her in that moment, because I was like, man, like doesn't matter that I'm on TV or whatnot. I just want you to know that like I'm here with you and I love you, and I see everything you're doing.
Did Steve Perry see that?
I don't know if he did. If he did, but I really hope he did. But it was really cool. I think the most important person that needed to hear it heard it that night. And
sure.
To me, that was a blessing.
Yeah. Well, Thunderstorm, this is a fan-based podcast, and so we will have viewers and listeners write in for questions to their favorite people. And we had a fan of yours. His name is Mark from Philly, and he wants to know the story behind your song, Something You Can Be Proud of.
Oh, wow. Dude, yeah, Something You Can Be Proud of. I wrote that with my good friend, Caleb. He's a part of the Seven Hill worship team. Him and my friend Colton Price, we all wrote that one together. That one was just, you know, talking about, you know, like, Lord, I want to be something you can be proud of. Like, let me build something in life that where you would look at me, you know what I mean? Like, there's that scripture about, like, where we could live a whole life as a Christian or trying to be a Christian, and God's like, I never knew you kind of thing. But it's like, what would it look like to be able to live a life that God could be proud of? Which is, you know, there's a lot of different ways to look at that. But for me, it was really kind of like, Lord, not make me something you could be proud of, but it's more so like, I want to do something in this world that you can be proud of. I want to be able to, you know, help people in a certain way, or be a blessing to others, or to carry his name. And to me, it's like this bracelet that I wear everywhere with me. It's I am second. And I wore it on every performance that I did on American Idol. And it's just a reminder that, you know, God's first and I'm second in this world. And making sure that I continue to put him on that pedestal in my life. And so I think that song is really kind of talking about that like, Lord, I want to build something that you can be proud of, that you look down and say, that's my son right there, and he's doing something good.
Well, with first-time guests, we like to do a little thing called favorite things. So I'll just give you a word, and you tell me your favorite thing in that category. Sound good?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. What is your favorite food?
Ooh, spaghetti bolognese.
All right.
I love that. I love pasta, man.
Yeah. What's your favorite pasta restaurant?
Ooh, that's a tough question, man. There's a spot in Canada, and I forget what it was. Man, my good friend knew the chef there, and he used to make it for me, make it for us. We'd go there, and that's why I fell in love with the bolognese.
Yeah. Yeah. I love, we went to several restaurants before, and homemade pasta is so much better than like Olive Garden. Like Olive Garden's good, but like those those hole in the wall Italian places are even better.
I like my pasta where it's like smoking still. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I don't want that. I don't want the lukewarm, cold pasta that you just do in a microwave for 5 seconds. No shade on Olive Garden, but like their breadsticks are fire.
There you go. Do you have a favorite movie?
John Wick.
John Wick. Nice. He's
I
got
was just watching it the other night.
One coming out with a girl, and he's in it or something.
Yeah. What was it called? Like Ballerina or something like that?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like him actually, but it looks cool.
Yeah, he's in it. I know he's in it for a portion. I knew they're going to do without him in it at all. And then I think some people were like, he should be in it. So I'm hoping it's not like a him in it and then him dying at the beginning. I'm like, bro, we got to keep John Wick for the whole thing. I mean, he survived everything in that fourth film. He might as well survive it in this.
Right. Yeah, that's like Han Solo dying in Star Wars. I mean, that was terrible.
That was the worst.
Do you have
I just watched that Star Wars again the other day.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a favorite show you like to watch or binge?
Ooh, favorite TV show that I like to watch or binge? Yes, I do. What am I watching right now? I'm watching Andor right now, but I love anything Viking, like the medieval and stuff. So like actually the show Vikings was one of my favorite shows. That was really fire. My wife hates the medieval stuff, and I'm like, I love it. That's why I feel like the pinnacle of being a man. Get out there with an axe and a shield and call it a day.
My wife and I started watching this show called Ghosts on CBS.
Yeah.
And there's a Viking in that. He's hilarious. And the show's based, I don't know. We don't have time for all that, but it's a funny show anyway.
Okay, I got to check it out.
Yeah.
It's called Ghosts. It's not the show Ghosts, right? Or sorry, not the show Power. There was a show called Power.
No, it's called Ghosts. Yeah, it's a comedy show.
Check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Favorite musical artist of all time?
That's a tough question. That's a very tough question. Favorite musical artist of all time.
I mean, you got to sing in front of 3 of them recently, but maybe.
I know. But so there's been guys like in my different seasons of life. You know what? There's an artist that I know every song that he ever did. It's a group called Passenger. Really love them. If you've ever listened to them, I mean, right now my craze is Tori Kelly and Louis Capaldi.
Yeah,
but Louis Capaldi's pretty up there right now.
Yeah. Do you have a dream duet?
Tori Kelly.
Tori Kelly.
Yeah.
What about a favorite ice cream flavor?
Dude, that's too easy. For me, it's always the Haagen-Dazs brand, and it's a flip between cherry vanilla and pina colada.
Nice.
I like fruits. You know what I mean? Growing from Hawaii, it's been my thing.
Yeah. I went to a Mexican restaurant the other day, and they served fajitas and a pineapple. And dude, it was killer, man. It was like
roasted pineapple too, like a little heated pineapple. Bro.
It was good.
People be sleeping on that.
Favorite podcast?
Favorite podcast? That's a good question. I love listening to the Theo Von stuff.
Okay.
So that's probably what I listen to the most.
Yeah. Well, Thunderstorm, you passed. Favorite things? Congrats. No controversial answers.
I tried not to, American Idol trained me well.
By the way, this podcast is sponsored by Olive Garden today. No.
What did you say?
You said their breadsticks were killer, so
killer. That's what's going to be clipped.
There you go. Well, what is next for you, and how can our viewers and listeners keep up with you?
I mean, yeah, dude, what's next for me? I mean, you can, streaming my music really helps me with everything. I'm about to go on a tour this fall with the band War and Treaty, who I did the last performance that I did on Idol with. Also, I'm doing a small thing with the CMAs here in Nashville, which is really amazing. That and the Bonnaroo Festival that's happening here. So those things and just kind of, putting out more music. I'm excited for the next songs that are in the pipeline, and we're just trying to do bigger and better and keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
But you can follow me through my Instagram, Thunderstorm Artis, or anything else. You can find me, Thunderstorm Artis. It's just me and the weather, so I'm pretty easy to find.
Yeah. Well, to wrap up, I'd like to see if you'd be willing to share something that God's been doing in your life recently that would help build our viewers and listeners' faith?
Yeah, I would say, man, God's been encouraging me to be confident in the identity that He has placed inside of me, and I want to say that to anyone out there in the world, because I believe that comparisons is a still of joy. So often I feel like, especially being on a show like American Idol, when you're around so many talented artists that are doing things that you might feel that you can't do, and that vice versa goes into every aspect of life, it's easy to start comparing yourself and then trying to be more like them. And I think when we step out of that, when we step out of who God has made us to try to be someone else, I think we're kind of going against the design that God has for our life. And He's been showing me that there's strength in that there's the strength in being confident. Like, confidence and pride isn't the same thing. And I think that's been something that God's just been showing in my life, just kind of as I navigate this industry, because it is a music business. You know, I love the music side of it. The business is tough. But learning to stand firm and my confident in my identity, who God has placed in me, and my morals. Don't compromise out there, guys, because one small compromise and you won't be able to recognize yourself in 15 years. So just stay true to who you are.
Yeah, that's good. Well, Thunderstorm, latest single, I Just Want You to Know, is out now. Stream it. Got any Christmas stuff coming up, man? Because we were talking, man, Christmas, you singing it would be all that.
Yeah, I put up our first Christmas song last year, which for some crazy reason, I saw that it was #1 in Indonesia right now.
There you go.
And I was like, who's listening to Christmas music in Indonesia right now?
In May.
I was like, in May. They were like, bro, we got the Christmas vibe. Santa's coming.
That's right.
But yeah, no, dude, I really want to do some more Christmas things. Nat King Cole and that vibe was actually the foundation to a lot of my singing growing up. And so a lot of those classic ballad Christmas songs are things that I would love to do. So that's definitely on. I was actually supposed to be at a writer's camp for some Hallmark stuff and Christmas things this next week, but we had some CMA stuff come up. But I will say, but yeah, Christmas things would be amazing. Guys, listen to the new single, and you know what pairs really good with that new single? Some Olive Garden pasta, you know? Just as you listen to it, just tell them don't stop the Parmesan until the song's over, and then it'll be the best pasta you ever had.
Thank you, Olive Garden.
Was that good redemption right there?
That's good, man. That's good.